Check the book. In Exodus chapter 3, around verse 14, notice what the Bible says. Exodus chapter 3, around verse 14. Watch what the Bible says. Verse 13 first. And Moses said unto God, behold, when I come into the children of Israel, and shall say unto them, the God of your fathers has sent me unto you. And they shall say to me, what is his name? What shall I say unto them? And God said unto Moses, this is what you tell them. You tell them, I am that I am. Tell them, I am who I am. That is, I've always been. There's not a case where I was, I is, or I am. Church, he's saying, when he speaks to Israel at Sinai, that I'm the Lord, I'm the God that exists, I'm the God that's eternal, I'm the God that everything that is here exists because of me. I'm independent. I don't need anybody at any time. You need air, you need water, you need bread. I need nothing because I'm self-existent. And so, by that alone, he could say to Israel, if I say no more, just because I am the Lord, you ought to obey what I'm about to command you to do. In one passage in the book of Acts, around chapter 17, 28, let's check the book. In Acts 17, around verse 28, notice what the Bible says. Acts chapter 17, around verse 28. We find the Apostle Paul on Mars Hill in a religious setting. A lot of philosophers around. Very superstitious, he said, or very religious. He says around verse 7, chapter 17, around verse number 28, he utters these words about God. He says, for in him we live and move and have our what? Have our being. And so what God starts off to tell Israel, because I'm the Lord, I need nobody or nothing. Because I've always been, I am eternal. I'm independent. All that you have is because of me. You are only living because of me. Based on that alone, you ought to receive the words that I'm about to share with you. But not only that, church, watch what the text also says. In Exodus 20, again, around verse 2, he says, I'm the Lord thy God. Watch this now. Which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt. So he says, second, out of the house of bondage. Secondly, you ought to obey what I'm about to share with you, because I brought you out of slavery. You are in there 430 years, and I brought you out of slavery. Church, today, God has delivered us from slavery, the slavery hold of sin. Let's check the book. In the book of Colossians, chapter 1, around verse 13, watch what the Apostle Paul says. In Colossians chapter 1, around verse number 13, we have been delivered, church, from the bondage of sin. Let's check the book. In Colossians chapter 1, around verse 13, the Apostle Paul writes to the church at Colossae, and he utters these words. He says, who hath delivered us from the power of darkness and hath translated us into the what? Kingdom of his dear Son. And so the Bible says, through Jesus Christ, we have been delivered from what? The bondage of sin, and have been translated into the kingdom of his dear Son, that is of Jesus Christ. And so just like God's people were delivered by God from the bondage of slavery, we are today, as members of the Lord's church, we have been delivered from the power of darkness and have been translated into the kingdom of Jesus Christ. But not only that, church, there's a third reason that's in that text too. Let's check the book. In verse number 2 again, he says, I'm the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Now, what's implied in the text also is this. I'm a God of covenant with you. Therefore, thing between us. We have a relationship. I have promised to protect and to take care of you, and you have consented. Based on even your consenting and my promising to take care of you and protect you, that also ought to say that you ought to listen and obey what I'm about to tell you. And so again, church, God is saying to Israel that before you can handle these 9 things that I'm about to share with you, let's make sure you understand the first principle first. Let's check the book. Around verse number 3. Here it is. He says, thou shalt have what? No other gods before me. Watch this now. Thou shalt have what? No other gods before me. Here's the first principle. Before I tell you the other 9, let's get the first one clear in your mind. The words preceding before suggest literally something. What are you saying? No other gods before me. The literal thought or translation is that he's saying, put nothing upon or against or about my face. That's the thought. That's the literal thought. Have no other gods before me. Again, that means literally, make sure you do not put up on or against or above my face any other God. And so the idea here in the text is about position. It's about position. And the position is that there is no possession of any God or anything that is to be above or next to or against God. Now that's our fight in the text, really. That's the fight. That's the fight, especially for God's children. That's the fight there. It's about making sure that we don't give any honor, any credit, any idea of success to anybody but God. That's a challenge. Because there are all kinds of gods, idol gods, small G-O-D. And one of the biggest idol gods is me, is self. Yes, it's me. That's perhaps the biggest idol god. And that usually arises with the idea of pride. See, pride by definition is an overestimation of oneself. I want to say it again. Pride by definition is an overestimation of oneself. We oftentimes think we are bigger than who we really are. And so, because of pride, we are looking for the attention to be here. And see, again, what we have done, we have positioned ourselves in the face against God. Because all of the credit, the Bible says in James 1 around verse number 17, all good and perfect things come where? From above.